Aloha. It is 1:34 p.m. here on Maui in Hawaii. And it is Abundant Sunday. That's the message I keep hearing, Abundant Sunday. And so I was feeling the pull to get online today and do live sessions with anyone that wanted to get on with me and see what happens. You can either join me through video sharing, or you can just comment in the comment section. And I added my PayPal account on the post for any donations that are welcome for the exchange today. While some more people are getting on, I just wanted to show you, I'm at this beautiful place in Maui and have a beautiful view here of the water. It's on a golf course, so great. And I got all my stones out. There's some of my stones out today I've collected and been given. And yeah, so feeling the pull to talk about abundance and what that is and what that looks like, and the body and the chakras and all of that. And I feel really blessed to be here right now in this spot. I've been on an adventure these last 4 years of integrating all of this, and I got out of my 20-year career in the restaurant industry at the beginning of 2016, and that's when everything started changing for me. I activated and then changed the way I lived. I was shown to see how to live minimally outside of the job fund, abundant market. And so for the last 3.5 years, I've been living on faith. And that means not working a regular job, going off of what all's been provided. And it's been an interesting change in my life because I have been very independent, very driven in my job and masculine in business, and I create and manifest business and money easily. And so for me to get pulled out of everything I've known my whole life, of working, to start living on faith through all of this activation and upgrading has been a trip. And it has been difficult at times, not knowing where the next dollar or food or where I was going to be next was going to come from. And everything was provided. Everything has been provided. And I have been one of those people that haven't asked for help much in my life. And it's like I have these blocks because I want to be independent and do it on my own and all of that. And so it's been interesting surrendering to that these last few years and allowing people to help me when they would show up to want to help. And it's been really beautiful because it's been an exchange for the work that I do. And I call them my angels. They just come in and like the door opens and the universe provides, So it's I was living on the Big Island and I was starting to get my healing platform started, seeing clients and doing more online sessions. I haven't up to this point really promoted all of my abilities that I channel to share with people in ways that I see other people. And I've been wondering why, Well, I live on faith and follow spirit, so I know that all is divine. And if I don't feel the absolute drive to do something, I don't do it. I wait for that time to show up. And that's not my usual flow, because usually I'm go, 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 do. I can multitask and all these things. And so I've learned to slow down. And so I was living on the Big Island, and I've been on Maui now a little over a month. And I felt the pull one day. I sat straight up in the bed one morning. I received a direct message from Source telling me to come over here to Maui and work. Because my friend Bam Bam, who I'm so grateful for, he was telling me that he was over here cleaning Airbnbs. And I was like, ooh, do I want to do that? And it didn't feel right because I knew that I was still going to be connecting with people to do work with them. And then I got the message so strong. I had just earned some money from doing some body work over there, so I had the money to book a ticket. I had booked it that day and came right over. And so for the last 3 years or so, I haven't been working a regular job. Money's just been trickling in. I've had just enough, everything that I've needed. And it's been wonderful because I've learned so much about myself. And I've learned to shift between surviving and thriving, because really it's a point of consciousness. It's a perception of how we're thriving or how, we're surviving. And so it's like I let go. I was activated to let go of the attachments to material things. And I've been living out of like 2 bags for the last few years. I got rid of everything I owned. It was all downloaded in me to do all of this. And so I've been zigzagging around the United States and other places doing this work, following faith, being guided by source. And so I came here to Maui and started cleaning Airbnbs. Bam Bam made the connection for me. So I'm just now starting to get like income generating again. And so I know it's time for me to get back into that, because it's like the flow happens when it's supposed to. And so now I've been receiving donations from you guys for the videos I do, for the energy exchange. And I'm so grateful. You guys are helping me support the path of healing. And cleaning the Airbnbs, I work for this lady, Pat, and she's so amazing. She is just a queen. And she's letting me stay here in this spot last night and tonight in this yummy bed. And because I'm staying in my friend Bam Bam's van. And so that he has a bed in it. So we sleep together like brother and sister. We cruise together. We work together. And so I had a vehicle to use. So I was doing my own cruise, sleeping in the car myself. And by the way, it's very common here in Hawaii. A lot of people live the aloha van life, cruising the beaches, doing their thing. And it creates sovereignty, because all you have to pay for is really gas, And so, but that vehicle needed the tire worked on. It was so wobbly. I drove it for like a week and a half, and every day I was like giving that car love to stay safe. Well, then the owner of the vehicle came back to the island, and he wanted to fix it. I was going to fix it. You guys were donating, and it was so awesome. So I'm back in the van with Bam. And so now what I'm doing is I'm feeling this call to stack up the money that I get so that I can purchase myself a vehicle to be here. Now, I'm also open to a caretaking spot also. So I leave the window open, so it's like I'm not feeling the energetic pull to leave the island anytime soon. So I thought, okay, I'm in the mode. It's time to put in some roots and let abundance come in. And because I'm following the path of what I'm hearing, I'm able to flow into that, because I've realized that in life that we have this innate fear of not having what we need, right? And it's also pushed on us a lot of the ways in a consumer market to purchase and buy and to have and to have and to have and all of that. So it's I realized that getting super minimalist has allowed me, and living on faith has allowed me to re-manifest how I feel around money and material things and a job and a car, and to create my own sovereignty. Because I'm really good in the masculine field. I'm really good at business. I succeeded quite successfully in the restaurant business. So it's but I can use those abilities to create my own thing, right? I've had 2 businesses. I'm a chef. I used to have a personal chef business in Houston. I also had an embroidery sewing business for a while. So it's I know I can do all of that. So I was activated to live on faith, and I chose to continue to follow that path, and it has blown me away. Surrendering to the need to make money so I can survive has changed my life. It shows me that everything is divine. Everything shows up and aligns right when it's supposed to, when we move past the fear of not having enough. That's what I noticed. I feel so many of us live and breathe and work because we're trying to survive something, right? What are we holding on to? It's that thing. So living on faith has been really trippy and amazing experience. And I'm so grateful to everyone that has showed up to assist in all this integration, because, I channel some amazing magic, and I do really powerful healing work. And I am so ready to engage more and more and more with people. I mean, this is what I want to do full time. This is my purpose. So it's cleaning Airbnbs is wonderful though right now, because it's meditation time. I listen to my channel and do activations and do healing work on myself. And it's chop wood, carry water. I feel I'm chopping wood and carrying water, because I can go down the street right here at a restaurant on Maui and give them my resume and make $2,000 a week. I know people that make like 800 and 900 a night waiting tables here. Like I can go do that right now, but that's not really in my flow, because what I want to do is I want to create and share love and healing in the way that I'm being activated to do it. So it's like, just because we can do something doesn't mean we have to do that. Moving past fear is a really big thing. And so today I was feeling the pull to do some live sessions with you guys. And donations are welcome, yet they're not necessary, because I love being of service, and I love sharing my channel, because that's what I came here to do, to share it with myself and share it with others. So if you want to hop on with me, or you want to ask some questions or whatever, I'll open it up and just see what comes through. Yes, it is. It's so time for that right now. Like doing the abundance. Like it's like when we learn to let go of these attachment to things, right? It's like we learn so much about ourselves, and that clears the energetic field, as above, so below. It's like seeing that we can live just like so easily and simply when we step outside of the conditioning of what society says we should be or what we should do, because no one really knows our own path but ourselves. And I certainly am not here to judge anyone else's. So it's like my path is my path. And as long as I'm still feeling magical and happy with myself and moving through the times when I don't, then that's what's important to me. And I feel like being in service is just such a beautiful thing. And so, yeah, I love to share it. And so now I'm feeling a pull to pull out some cards, which I don't normally do. This is the first time I think I've ever pulled them in a video, but I want to give a shout out also to Joey Coco. He gifted me this Law of Attraction tarot deck, and it has been phenomenal. When I picked up the box, it was like so magnetizing. And I've done some readings for people, which I don't normally do, but with this deck I do. And it's all about prosperity and abundance and the law of attraction and sparking creativity in ourselves so that we can pull in the abundance of energy of what we want. And it doesn't mean material things. It doesn't mean money. Abundance is energy, and money is energy. So the energy we put on money, the energy we put on ourselves, the energy we put on our job, our kids, our spouses, all things, all of that is vibratory frequency that has a rhythm to it. And so when we think about how everything is energy and we're in this vortex of frequency wavelengths, we can cast out into that auric field, this collective cosmic galactic web of energy that we're all thinking in or receiving in, right? We're really receiving. So it's like the thoughts that come into my mind are coming from a full spectrum of people on Earth. It's not just me, and not to mention the multidimensional space. All right, so I usually only shuffle 3 times, but this time I did it a 4th time, so that's cool. Athena said she would love a message. The goddess of light. Ooh, that just came through. Okay, this is for you, sister. The goddess of light. Something going on in the solar plexus, I'm feeling, the diaphragm. So we can clear that out. Athena, if you want to go along with me, take your right hand and put your fingers together like this, because these are the elements. This is fire, air, space, earth, and water. Right hand here, left hand, and just tone with me. La, 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 la. Pulling from the solar plexus. The element of fire is in your favor. can rub your right hand over it. Well, I noticed the other day someone called me out in a video and they thought that I was going in an opposite direction. So I realized that when I move my hand to the right, it looks like it's going counterclockwise to you, but I look at it as if I'm the perception of the clock looking out. Let's say like if I was on the wall with a clock, the hands would be moving to the left and around. If I was looking at the clock on the wall, the hands would be going to the right and around. So I'm figuring out a different way to channel this information. So right palm over your solar plexus and move it to the left, okay? So, and then this hand with the magic mudra, you want to put middle finger over ring finger and just imagine the settlement of energy coming in and out. Oh, I started going the other way. Okay, so now go to the right. I call this creating a portal or opening a portal. It's like moving energy in this really yummy way. It's the same way that my third eye moves. My third eye right here swirls to the left. Really yummy swirls. And when I close my eyes, I see that same swirling sometimes. It looks like a very dim galaxy or something swirling. Okay, sister, that was for you. That was awesome. Tiffany, I would love to spend a week with you too, babe. I love you so much. I love you. I love how vulnerable you are. Skylar wants a reading. The Warrior of the Kings. Ooh, nice. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card for you, top one. The top one is the Seven of Swords. Ooh, and there's light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, so I'm going to look in the book and see what that says. The Seven of Swords. No, that's a wand. Seven of Wands. Wait. What is a sword? Okay, here we go. I was right. Seven of Swords. This is for you, Skylar. This is the card of hope. Ability to be unselfish in order to give one's best. Hope is represented by a long tunnel, a direct representation of the experience of birth. When we pass through the womb to the outside world, the light indicates that it's possible to return to a normal life after all. Your world is made up of both possibilities and limitations. To find out which are the limits you impose upon yourself, focus your attention on your thoughts and include the words should and include the words should, need, or it's necessary. When you notice those sentences, repeat them and ask yourself, otherwise, what happens? If you become aware of the situation, you can choose whether to keep the limitation or accept another opportunity. So the key words for this card is anxiety pushes us to try new paths. Sage who puts own science in service of humanity, or enlightened leader in slander. Light at the end of the tunnel. So that's like figure out what's going on, ask some questions, and then eliminate those questions and see what comes up. I love that. Jasmine says, I do have a question with my soul's desire to create children's books with a purpose. I want to ask, what can I do to get this achieved? Take a look and ask inside of yourself, what is it you want to achieve? What is it that you want to achieve with this creation? And then the guidance will come in. Let your voice be your guide. Start writing things down. Think about illustrators. Think about images, color schemes, the brightness or the fade of light. Start with the sunshine. Let the sun come in through the voice. Ooh, do an audio. I heard making audio of what you want in the book will help. Adding documentation, whatever that means. Stephanie Harris, my DNA activation queen. Girl, I'm glad you're taking a day off today. You've been going at it. I love it. Candace Smith, the lover of the divine. I love you, sister. I'm going to pull a card for you. Ooh. Let's see this one. Okay, you got the Lover's card. This is the law of attraction. I haven't pulled this card yet. The ideal and the real are comparable and attract each other, but are rarely the same thing. The lips of a boy and a girl are facing each other, locked into a kiss. In the background, overlooking them, is a musical staff whose notes are composed of graphic symbols of Venus, the planet of love, and Mars, the planet of sex. This card wants you to reflect on your emotional state. Are you optimistic? Do you work each day to get what you want? Are you able to imagine yourself already there? These are simple questions to see if you are able to focus on your goals and attract favorable circumstances to ensure success. Because your success will depend not only on having the proper tools at your disposal, but on your power to use those tools most efficiently. That is really awesome. It's like the twin flame union, right? Like the masculine and the feminine, the Venus and Mars. So this is like pulling that left-right brain together, right? The emotional place with the business, the power, like the manifestation. I love that. So cool. I love that card. And look, like the guy looks kind of green, like he's an alien. Jamie. Jennifer, the goddess, or I heard the goddess of fire, the arena of pleasure. Something with your throat chakra. Okay, I just heard we're going to get it dialed in. 2 fingers of your right hand, which is the element of air and space, right here on your throat chakra. And I have my fingers touching like this in the back. Finger placement's important with Mudra. Okay, so if you want to sound tune with me, and you guys can do this too. This is, you can tune your own chakras. So, but Jennifer, it was specifically for you. So you can sound tune with me because I'm feeling like it's going to come through. So I have my left hand over my solar plexus like this, over the diaphragm. Ooh, I haven't pulled with my left hand before. Speak up a bit. Let your purpose be known. It's time to rise up. Start looking at yourself more in the mirror and telling you what you love about you. Take a look outside of the window at night up at the stars and think about what it is you wish. Solar plexus clearing too, Jennifer. So that was a throat chakra activation with a little bit of pulling. And now I'm feeling, we're pulling from the solar plexus. And these two, the solar plexus and the throat chakra, are intimately connected because the solar plexus is where we receive from the outside world. And the throat chakra is how we present to the outside world from the inside. So it's an interesting perception of feeling. Right breast, right in here. On you, Jennifer. This is a connection to the heart. This is also the lung meridian and the pressure point for the immune system. It's really important to open this up. And a lot of people, like I've been working on my shoulders. this year on my whole body. I was like this before. So I've come up and I was like this, so my neck's come in. And I still have some more work to do. It still isn't all the way back in the pocket yet. And then this side is a lot better now. It's still forward some, but I just got to move it. I got to get it to sit back like that. So this is something that all of us can do together. And I do it on myself. I grab the inside of my armpit and I squeeze my thumb right here. I pull. I put my arm in so I can really grab it. And all I do is I squeeze hard and I open up all the way back, holding on to the tissue. You want to get deep in there with that fascia tissue, and you can maybe feel lumps and bumps and things like that. That's fascia tissue that needs to be smoothed. Every single person that I do a session with, every single person gets work right there. It's like, this is such an important highway and byway is what I hear from the heart chakra, out and down and out of the arms, which is where the chi comes from into the hands. So grabbing a hold of that and opening that up. And then you can smooth out like this. Start up here and press your fingers in and let this arm do the work, and you just move it down and just move all of that tissue in on the right side. Yep. And you guys can message me too at any time about the work, how you feel. What you can expect is this is an amplification of the channel, so the body and the mind goes through a shift because it activates the DNA, raises you to a higher frequency. So like the sound tuning and the mudras and all of that, it's a heightened frequency. So your DNA, your cells start to regenerate themselves higher because you're working on your chakras. You're working on your organs, which all generate the energy of the body and the cosmos. So it's an amplification tool. So you may feel a little throat scratching, a little cough, stuff like that with throat chakra work. Sneezing can come through. Let's see. Oh yeah, Annie Marie, having some stomach things going on. You popped in on a video yesterday, I think, or the day before, and it was about the abdomen. So let's do a little bit of work now on that. If you just take like a deep breath with me, Annie, in through the mouth, no, in through the nose, out through the mouth, times 3. Okay, so now I'm pushing energy from the solar plexus down and out. So I'm pulling a little bit, but it's pushing. So we want to push mindfully, imagine the energy flowing from the diaphragm right here in the solar plexus, down through the sacral, the root, out through the feet and into the earth, to ground that energy out and let the earth pull, let the magnetic pull of the earth pull out what isn't serving you. And if you're feeling something on a physical level, a lot of the time it's representative of something on the mental level. So it's important to remember that with energy work, with body work, where there's pain, where there's dis-ease, there's something going on in the mind a lot of the time, even if it's just stored in the body. So clearing energy can help and moving that out. A lot of times now I'm pulling energy from the solar plexus and the right breast at the same time. Open up and say, ah. Moving something out of the right breast. I just heard the chandelier life is over. I don't know if that resonates with you in any way. No more glass mirrors. Smoke and mirrors. No more smoke and mirrors. Okay, pull in. So moved energy in the right breast, and now I feel it moving down the arm. So we're going to just like guide the energy to flow out of the right arm. Humming, Annie. I heard it's good for you to do a lot of humming. And what humming does, it's really interesting. Whenever I hear someone humming, including myself, I know that that's an automatic response to move the vibration of the psyche and the body. Cats do it automatically. They have their own internal purring vibrational stimulation device, which shifts their energy. So we have the same thing. So humming helps to move energy. So I just heard to start humming. And I feel like it's going to happen anyway if you're not already doing it. Right breast still needs some work. And I feel it right here, real strong. Pulling solar plexus. All right, now we're going to move more energy down from the solar plexus and out. Well, allowing it, right now we're just allowing it to release. So take a deep breath in. Soul connection. Okay, cool. And continue to put heat, like a hot towel, on there. Jules. Jules. Are you the one that just emailed me about doing a session? I saw someone emailed me and I haven't gotten back to you yet. Okay. Pull, she says, can you please call a card regarding a soul connection? Do a couple shuffles. This is fun. Thank you guys for hanging out. Okay, Jules. Wow. Okay. Jules, you got an amazing card. This is the Queen of Cups. This is the mother. Baby in the womb with the umbilical cord. It shows that. This is the Queen of Cups. The image of a pregnant belly inside of what appears in detail a fetus can be taken as an evolution and maturation, but also as a renewal. The time in the womb alludes on a symbolic level to a period of stagnation designed to nurture and to transform the unconscious forces. This image may also refer to an idea that is in gestation, waiting to sweetly come into light. Often it is thanks to a great disappointment that you can learn to truly love. The expectations your parents taught you fade away. Once you find yourself alone, you can confront your suffering, learning to see more clearly what is really important inside yourself. You must simply free yourself of illusions, allowing the unconscious to choose for you. Wow, that is amazing. Like getting ready to rebirth, to birth something amazing. I love that. Jennifer said her palms are sweating watching me. Well, and that's what's so amazing too, right? So the body releases energy in all kinds of ways, and sweating is one of them. And the hands are really powerful. So if the palms are sweaty, if the hands are sweaty, I feel like moving energy around will assist so that that vibration doesn't come out so strong in the hands like that, so they can be drier. Shifting a little bit of the energy now. Yeah. The hands are the soul connection. Tiffany said, I so want to grow. Do you want to grow, or are you growing? Right? Are you already there? Jamie, 555, yeah. Love that. Linda, happy to see you too. Ian said, why the okay sign with the hands? Please answer. What, do you mean this? Is that what you mean by okay? Because this is the sign that I get for okay, which is the magic mudra with the thumb and finger together like this. The first mudra that started coming out in my hands was the magic mudra in the summer of 2017, and it evolved into this. And it just, it goes into different ones. So this is what I get for a sign of yes, complete. And I get it like this together, which developed later. I didn't have that at first. Yeah, Candace said, I am doing the work. Papa, he asked me, where is my hometown? My hometown, where I was born and raised, is Milledgeville, Georgia. A super weird, esoteric place. It's a tiny, small town in the center of the state of Georgia. I left there, I think, in in 1997, I believe there was like 17,000 people living there, and it's home to the largest insane asylum in the world called Central State Hospital. And there were 11 prisons in that town when I was growing up. So 11 prisons plus the insane asylum in a town of 17,000 people. Weird. We call it the black hole. Really strange place. So it's really interesting that I was born there in Georgia's and it used to be the capital of the state a long time ago, and there's all these underground tunnels, and I've been hearing messages about the energy underneath there. And I heard something about the other day, if the lights all go out and the rest of the planet, the lights will still shine in Georgia. I was like, what is that? And I don't know if you know about this, but there's something called the Georgia Guidestones too, which is in North Georgia. No one knows who put them there, but I think there's like these 7 pillars with like the end of the world written in like these different languages. I've been there one time before I even really knew what it was. So some esoteric stuff going up there in the deep south, where they still keep it like so divided, and it's so still like backwoods. It's so strange. Jasmine. Jamie said, I need to work on mine too. My posture needs work. Yes, the posture creates distortion in the pelvis, which is where the spine engages into the back of the neck to the brain. So if this right here, if the posture is not open to allow this to flow, Kundalini's off. I mean, it's just, I channel it with every single person, and posture is huge, especially when we're like, because we have phones now, right? Everyone's looking down and forward, and they have their hands like this. We got to sit up. Got to sit up. And the number one way to do it is to sit on the floor. That's why I sit on the floor. I rarely sit in a chair unless it's like a thing, or I sit on the ground because I sit on my sits bone so that my spine can be erect, because like the posture is hindering the flow of what's supposed to be open in the gravity field. Candace said, sis, important. What can be done for my female organs? A flush. Some sort of flush. That's what just came up. Food intake. Okay, so we're moving energy. The right side is more congested than the left side. Okay, so I'm pointing over to your right ovary, and I'm snapping there now. Which is activating the energy field. Snapping actually creates, boom, it's like a spark in the vortex. So it activates energy. Something as simple as what we think snapping is, right? We think it's just nothing. Oh no, it's something. It's like commanding attention. And I use it to disperse energy too. Once I open up and energy starts to come out, I'll snap to like disperse it too sometimes. Okay, now we're pulling from the right ovary. Or in that region, the uterus. Or in the area where the uterus is or was. Because sometimes when organs are removed, the energy can still be there because it's like part of the design. That's what I just heard. So some sort of a flush. Google, maybe look online, see what resonates for that with you, and let's talk about it. Hey, Colby. Gina says, Lori, can you pick up anything with me, please? The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. So when that comes up, so I've got my left hand in the magic mudra, and I'm brushing that towards you, saying that. I say that sometimes in sessions, and I said it with myself a couple of times, like 2 days ago, and yesterday, and I was told that by me saying that something about hexes, and so it's like removing some sort of energy. That's what I just picked up. I heard something about tell her to leave the babysitting or the babysitting gig. I heard tell her to release the command that she has on herself regarding her fortune and fame. So pulling energy out of the left hand. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. Gina Izo. Your chakras feel in alignment to me. It's the hand, the left hand. Stimulating the power of receiving. That's it. Right hand is the giver, the left hand is the receiver. Removing turmoil around poverty. Okay. Gina, I heard, have a good night's sleep tonight and forget about your friends until tomorrow. Removing the blasphemy of luck. Third eye, crown chakra activation. Follow your destiny's work and all will be amplified in the divine light of truth. Okay. Carlos Cunha. Did I say your last name right? I had a session with him, with you, and it was wonderful. I loved it. He does chakra work, guys. He did the session with me right before I came to Maui, actually, and I was super stoked. So I'm happy that we can exchange some now. So for chakra work, hit up Carlos, guys. He's awesome too. Okay, so we're moving in the left palm. The power of abundance. The power of abundance. The power of abundance. Ready to receive with ease and grace. The power of your destiny lies within what you're doing. Take a step back and reanalyze yourself for a moment or two. Shake down the walls of disaster, the fear of disaster. The elephant man. Ooh, that was a new one. So pulling from the left hand now, pulling energy. Hold your right hand up to your third eye, these two fingers, and count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Throat chakra moving, clearing, pulling. Connecting the third eye to the throat chakra. Dreams become visions, visions become vocal. Speak what you want into existence. I'm feeling some right temporal movement on you too right now, so we'll just clear that out. Ooh, and I just saw 3 birds fly in a trifecta formation. Birds of a feather. Ooh, we just changed timelines, Carlos. Ooh. Yes. Ran with the avatars, collapse the gap between here and there. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. Times 3. Times 3. Times 3. Elevate your magic. Okay, so your abilities are going to enhance now. You're going to become stronger in your left hand and then in your right. Creating a ball of magic to assist in your favor. Release the need to say things are necessary. All is divine, all in divine light. Making a cocktail of surprises. That's what I just heard. Bless us up. Yay, it's a victory day. (31, 32, 33). I feel that your left hand is very strong. And we just did a lot of clearing and amplification. Right brain stimulation. Right brain controls the left side of the body. The left brain controls the right side of the body. Left hand for receiving, right brain for creating. Let freedom ring. That was for you, brother. No more crying tears of pain. Release the tears as energy purging. The pain is a label of suffering. Mindful of how you speak to yourself and others. Creating a time capsule of desire. Right eye stimulation, left brain enhancement. Okay, you should feel some movement in the right hemisphere now. Haikishania manaya. Pulling energy from the right eye. Clear, clean and clear. This is going to level up. This is clearing distortion in the channel. So your channel's going to get clearer now. The vagabonds. Time to level up, brothers and sisters. Okay, Carlos, message me if you have any questions about any of that. Brothers and sisters of the light. No more tears of pain and sorrow, tears of purging energy. It's the defense mechanism of the body to release which no longer serves. It's all about the mindset and the perception of the energy in which we perceive. Robbie asked, do I know about astral projection? It's really interesting. Oh wait, I'm still feeling more energy. Carlos, throat chakra. Left hand around the throat in the magic mudra. Releasing the serpent tongue. Kundalini. Take some time to get to know yourself, brother. Let your mind enhance itself. You. Okay, Robbie asked about astral projection. I don't really, I know what astral projection is supposed to be based on the things I've read. I've had some traveling experiences while I'm awake and asleep. Now to say I've experienced astral projection, I feel like I don't really know how to pinpoint the term, because I've had different experiences where I came back into my body knowing that I just came from a galactic ship twice. The first time I was in command, so I was showing up and it was a very official meeting. I saw inside of the ship and everything. It was amazing, and I knew that I just came back in. I knew that I was really there, so it wasn't just some random dream where I'm like, whoa, was I there? Was it real? It was oh no, I knew it was real. And then I've had two travels to two of my deaths, which was really trippy. One time while I was awake and one time while I was asleep. And so to say that I've had this astral projection thing where I'm kind of asleep and I'm hovering over my body and I see myself and things like that, no. I've had that happen to me when I was in a bad car accident. It's my avatar left and I saw myself. It was really trippy. But I've had lucid dreaming is what I feel like it is too, where you're kind of awake. I felt like I was awake. I knew what was going on, but when I came back into my body from wherever I was, I knew that I had somehow dozed off, yet I was fully present. It was really cool. So if any of you have any astral projection stories, I'd love to hear them, because, with all of this magic stuff, it just happens to me. I don't try to meditate to astral project or to meditate to have lucid dreaming or any of that stuff. I allow it to come through when it's supposed to, and I like it that way. And it's super divine when it does, because I know that that's really powerful, because the message in the moment is what's so cool. Foe, what's up, Foe? Yeah, I'm staying up in Lahaina today, so I won't be doing Sunday Fun Day Drum Circle because I get to stay in this epic place. So I'm not going to drive all the way down there. Um, I love you too. Carlos, I appreciate you. Amy, give thanks. Feel it all in my throat. Yeah, well, we did some of that. Robbie says that he knows astral projection. That's awesome. Vimo Star, my witchy sister. She does the spells for prosperity and abundance and all this yummy stuff. And she's got a really awesome perfume line coming out with essential oils and all this yummy stuff in there. Check her out in the comments. Drop your links in the comment section so people can check you out and see what, and not just you, Vimo, but anyone. Share your YouTube channels, share your website, share what you've got going on. Like, let's get this abundance momentum going together, right? Carlos said he's been struggling with channeling on and off. Well, I'm really interested to see how things are going to evolve for you. So with this kind of work, guys, too, I like to let people know that 3 days of integration, but really 7, because like after 3 days, you really start to notice a lot of change. And people that I work with, their channels expand like fast, because it seems like when we're really open to receive, we really go that next level with the work that we do with each other. And so, oh, I just heard, write down notes. Take notes of things that come in and see how you start to feel differently physically and how your channel is going to expand more. Candace said, I love your light language, sis. I love you too. Will this be on replay? Sure, yeah, I'm going to have it live so you can watch it back, Carlos, and get that activation again and again and again. It doesn't, and you just don't have to watch it one time. Like, I even watch my own activations multiple times so that I can get it from the outside perspective. Whoa, Jasmine, who asked me earlier about writing the children's book and how she should achieve that, she just commented, she said, oh my God, Source, I just checked my emails and seen an email about how to write a book and publish it. She said, I'm shocked. I barely asked Lori about this, and boom, the response of what can I do was literally answered for me before Lori's live video ended. There you go, mama. Get it, right? That's like, open up that channel, ask, how can I help? And then boom, it just comes right in. This is what I talk about, the power of asking, how can I help? And it doesn't have to be anything in particular. It can just be, how can I help the things I want to achieve? How can I be of service? How can I help others? All we have to do is say, how can I help? Reach out, and the answers will come in. It's so beautiful. The universe will put opportunities in front of us to shift out of what we don't want and what we want. It's like really, really that simple. It just takes knowing that it can happen. Like, if you know that the universe is on your side, that the multidimensional space is accepting and sending your vibration, why not cast into it? Why not amplify the signal? Crystal says, releasing guilt, grief at this time. Learning I need balance in the home to do my work. Yes, balance is really important. And that's why I find that having sovereign time, whatever that looks like for you, where you, not, and for you, Crystal, and everyone watching, because this is what I do for myself too, finding that sovereign time to be able to unwind, to let loose. Like, we could do it at a park and there can be other people around, or we may shut the bathroom door or the closet door or the bedroom door and just totally get into our own channel. And the thing is like, when we're activating in these channels and we're discovering these energetic abilities that we have that have been dormant in our DNA, and now it's being activated because of this ascension, it's a process to integrate all of that and what that is and what it looks like. I mean, I'm going strong at 4 years now since I first got majorly activated and the multidimensional being started working on my body, and I started channeling and recognizing that I'm some sort of like energy healer and all of this stuff. Like, I've spent quite a lot of time by myself integrating, because I feel like We can shut the outside world out. We can do that on a bus. We can do that anywhere. So it's like, but there's different levels of integration of that. So it's like being able to fully express oneself in whatever regard that is sovereignty. That's creating sovereign space to fully express. So letting go of grief, letting go of shame and guilt, whatever these like heavy energies are, like we don't even have to give them names. Like you don't have to call your energy grief. You can just say, I've got some energy in me that is triggering my body and my solar plexus that I see that I'm opening up to release. We don't even have to release it. We can just have the intention of recognizing and saying, okay, it's time to release that. And the multidimensional space will give you opportunities to do that. Like we really don't have to do that much. That's what's so amazing. We think we have to like release all this stuff and do all this work and la 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 la. And it's like, whoa, let's just find some sovereign time to be quiet and let what the purpose or the path is to come up. And a lot of time that's to release old programming. That's like clearing out the space to be able to receive and send in a clear frequency. And then it's also about the energy of the body. So it all works together. The most important thing I find, the greatest work that we can do for ourselves is honoring our body and getting right and getting in with the body and stretching and rubbing and doing abdomen massage and working on these areas that are so important, stretching out the neck and getting that all opened up and free. Like loving the body moves all of that energy out that doesn't feel good. So anytime your body hurts, sit on the ground, sit on the floor or in your chair if you can't sit on the floor and work that area. Right? Like let your body is signaling to you where you have emotional energy stored. And that's what I do. My hands automatically just move on my body where my energy is. Just like with you and with people I do sessions with, it's like automatic, a magnet. It's like an amplified signal of detection. And we all have that. We all have that. All we have to do is slow down enough to be in tune with the body. If you're hurting somewhere in your body, even if it just feels like emotional pain, emotional energy in the solar plexus or the heart or the throat or whatever that is, it's more than likely you're having physical symptoms of that as well. So use your mind energy. That's your power. Use your mind energy and use your hands and imagine that you're releasing, you're aligning, you're giving love to those areas through your thought processes. I mean, the body's listening. The cells listen to the vibratory frequency of our thoughts. So clearing energy through thought is very powerful. Bimo says astral travel is going through the realms and dimensions. Your spirit showing you an experience. Astral projections equals same real, just outside of the body. Yeah, totally. So it's kind of like, she said lucid dream is conscious. Carlos said, I appreciate you mentioning my name and my work on live. It's an honor, sister. Oh, yeah. I was so grateful that you wanted to share and gift what you do with me. And I know it's so powerful. So to help other people is so beautiful. B. Bradley, I love you. I love what you do. And seriously, doing the video to your music still comes up in my mind. And I know that when the moment happens, it's going to be divine. So I want you to know that I haven't forgotten about you and your music. Share the link to your album and let people know what you do. He does Reiki. He does card pulls. Because you guys have been so generously donating to me, I'm able to pay it forward to other people that are doing amazing things. So I was able to donate $25 to him today. And he did a card pull for me. And he's going to be doing spells for prosperity and Reiki. He does amazing stuff. So check out B. Bradley also. I love what you do. Jennifer said, yes, I agree. Allowing those moments to come through without trying so many spiritual experiences. Yes, because whatever it is that we're supposed to let go of, whatever's going to move out is going to come through when it's divine. Something's going to come in and trigger something, and so we can choose what to do with it in that moment, right? It's like being the alchemist. Like, work with your alchemy, transmute, transmit the frequency of what's coming through to you if it doesn't feel good. And what does feel good, like, push that out into the ether, right? Like, I love the thought of the idea and the realization of our own energy empowers others, even if we're not in front of them. Like, we're all on a web of consciousness together. Lisa said, hey, Arhun, do you see any Anime teacher? Maybe can you reword that? I'm not quite sure what it is that you're saying. Oh yeah, Vimo, she just posted her link for the spell in a bottom of perfume. Super great. She does magic over it too. Oh, okay. So Lisa said, me teaching yoga and Pilates. Sorry, my prior text was a mess. Do you see anything? I mean, the quality of your desire is what opens your channel of receiving. I heard yoga, yes, Pilates, no. It's all defined in the way that the wind blows. I heard exercising is great for the body and the adrenal system. I say follow what, me personally, like that was the channel, but me personally, like I listen to what comes in and then I release it. So it's like, I find that even though I may get one answer now, that doesn't mean that something isn't going to change in the future. So I take it for what it is and then leave myself open to the opportunities that the multidimensional space is going to bring to me. And if I'm feeling the pull to do something like teaching yoga or whatever it is, then I allow myself to allow that to keep coming in to show me if that is the correct path, unless I know immediately in the moment and it's time to sign up. So solar plexus release will identify your desire. So Lisa, a little bit of solar plexus work. So I've got my right hand over the solar plexus and I'm moving it, these two fingers, in a rotation to the left with my left hand up. I just heard fire, breathing dragon. Stoking up the solar plexus, sister. That's the element of fire. The vortex of receiving and then sending out through the throat chakra. So I've got the mudra here of creating balance and amplification while I have the element of air and space on the solar plexus. Diaphragm amplification. Yoga, yes. Pilates, no. That's what I just heard again from the divine light of truth. Yes, Carlos, meditation, extra water, drink. Yeah, you guys, make sure that you're drinking water because this is an amplification on a cellular level. So that means there's a detoxification to these specific organs. Then the endocrine system, the adrenals are working differently. So drinking water to flush. Amy, anything for this southerner? Ooh, my southern belle. Hey, sister. Southeast Tennessee. Yeah, your right hip. So I've got my left hand up, my right hand is open, and I'm swishing like this, okay, while I'm sitting on the floor. And I'm sitting on the floor like this. So if you're able to do this or watch this back later, this is a great position to sit in. I sit like this. This lets both of the hips sit on the floor, and then I'll move it over and twist it over like this. I'm still working on this area. I can't sit as flat. So you guys can sit on the floor. I sit like this a lot, and it helps to open up the hips. So automatically, I was pulled to your right hip. So I'll pull a little energy now. Clockwork, counterclockwork. Ah, I feel a lot of energy releasing right now. Escapism is not the routine of desire. Release the need to tell people who you are. The mind, body, soul is making a connection now. Down to the right hip, out to the ether, to the hand of receiving. Mother Gaia is accepting you, is assisting you now. Time for a change, sister, time for a change. Lots of abundance is coming your way. Removing the chains of poverty, left hand amplification of receiving. Ooh, my head started sparking up right here and a bird flew by at the same time. That means antenna signal and the birds the birds will take messages off with them. And so a lot of time I'm really dialed in. Oop, there goes another one. Oop, and another one. Ah, I'm so dialed into the bird spirits. They pull on me constantly. Bird tribe. Ooh, I just changed timelines with you, Amy. Our avatars collapse the gap between here and there. So that's like more in alignment in the field of the purpose of the path of light. In the darkness and in the light. The yin and the yang of resurrection. Ooh, this is powerful, girl. Opening up a vortex, moving to the left. A portal of receiving. When you lay down tonight, ask yourself 3 questions. Who am I? What am I doing? And where am I going? Don't look for the answers. You don't need it. It will come to you. The power of 3 times 3 times 3. So mote it be. Okay, so now I'm putting my legs together. And I'll show you how I sit a lot too. I sit with my legs together and I make sure that my heels are in alignment with my belly button. And if you can't reach that, if any of you try that and you can't get in that position, then that means that's a good position to work your legs to open up to get into. So Amy, sit in that position and then bend over and allow the hip energy to move out more. That's what I'm feeling the pull. I just heard creating stabilization in the circulatory system. Now I'm pushing the energy out of the right hip and down and out of the foot. It's amazing too, because what I find is that the work I do with a lot of people is the same work that I'm doing on myself, and it's my right hip too. So we're sending and receiving and clearing together. That's what's so beautiful about this kind of work. Healing work, we get it for ourselves when we share with others. It's really amazing. Horiki Shanamaya. Fit by Athena made a donation. Thank you so much. It's awesome. Thank you. Times 3, times 3, times 3. So mote it be. That was great, Amy. Message me if you have any questions or anything comes up during your integration process of this energy. I'm definitely feeling like it's a good idea to sit on the floor and open up the hips and allow the energy to move out of your right hip, down and out of your leg. Jules said, if you have time, can you tune into an activation for me? Sure. Do you want to do it now or do you want to do it privately? Remy, what's up, buddy? Love you, brother. Jasmine said, literally shaking with that energy. Woohoo, Kundalini rising. So awesome. Okay, so Jules, let's just do a little bit right now. I don't want to scroll all the way to the bottom. And then we can set up private sessions too, because I know you emailed me about that. So let's see what comes up. Mystical healing. This is a mystical healing. That's what I heard just now. By the power invested in me, 2 times 2 times 2. Starship Enterprise has a message for you. Galactic Source 8734921. The body of Christ compels you, removing hexes from the throat chakra. There comes a time in your life when you have to decide what you want. Remove the rules of manifestation, because there is no have. You don't have to do anything. Although it is time to release. Release the beast. Throat chakra amplification now. Starship Enterprise has another message for you. Take what you want with a grain of salt. This is a time capsule release. My hands are moving in a figure 8. Okay, so I heard, take what she says with a grain of salt. You can touch yourself if you want to, but they've got it from here. The need for speed is among us. An amplification system, tool amplification, release, and process. Holding space for you, sister. The time capsule release. We're moving through the ether right now. Moving across time and space. This is an etheric upgrade to the nervous system. Somewhere there is a divine light waiting for you. Ooh, 3 birds in the trifecta just flew by. The ancients would say that it is the wisdom from the divine. The stars align and activity begins. Rest your weary head. Timeline capsule release is complete. Start writing down poetry. La 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 la. And singing your fantasies. Yes, we are blessed. This is an attunement of your solar system. Releasing the need to compress. Let it go to flow. The compression of the self, the removal. Download code 87654321-0 -5 -8.205. Ooh, I just felt huge release right then. Ah, that was amazing. And we changed timelines again. Origami. Origami. For some reason, that term origami has been coming up for me lately. I've even been writing it down in my notebook, so I'm not really sure what about that. It's interesting. Blessings upon blessings upon blessings, sister. You are a powerful energy source. Levitation. Levitation. You are the backbone of society. humanity at its finest. The deranged or ill. Release the need to compete. The divine light within you is the divine light within me. Take your time and get to learn yourself, get to know yourself better. More in tune with the secrets of the soul. Count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Birds of a feather. 3 timeline jumps. Girl. You may feel time speed up or slow down now for the next 3 days. Allow the poverty-stricken ways to be removed from the mind. Eagle spirit. Eagle spirit. Some right eye work. The hand of receiving. Comment now that you are okay. Write it down on paper. The Holy Communion resides within you. Okay. Please message me about any of this and let me know how things go for you. Drink water. Reside in bed for a few days. 2 days. 2 days of rest. Even if it's just not in your literal bed, right? But it's like, like the message said, take what she says with a grain of salt. So it's like, see how the certain things resonate that come through with you. So it doesn't have to be like actual, but it's like an awareness. You're very level-headed. Your chakras feel in balance. In balance, not imbalance, in balance. Throat chakras. It does need a little bit more work. Not much though. Release. It's coming up now. Purge. Okay. I'm really amplified right now for someone else. I'm not sure who it is yet. So I've got 24% left on my battery. I charged it up as much as I could before I got on. I didn't have the right charger, so I got up to 44%. So we'll just keep going until... I'm loving doing this on Sunday. What a great day. Crystal said, I'm totally needing my space. Single parent moving soon for community support that a friend is offering. That's great. That's one of the things I love about Hawaii. There's a lot of communities here that are farms and intentional communities where you can like work trade, which means live and work for working on the land. Some places it's only like 12 to 20 hours a week, and then you can get a second job. Like, it's incredible to have support and community. And one of the things that I've been thinking about is having a place on the islands that supports the mamas and the daddies and the babies, single parents that need support. Like, create groups in your area, support groups for single parents or whatever, like whatever it is that you feel like you need. It's such a great way to like put that out there, to create that space. Even if it's online, say you have a private group where it's a bunch of single moms, Crystal, and you guys can support each other. Like, those kinds of outlets create more synergy to amplify the signal of what's going on, right? That's like being in service when something may not be feeling the best. I love it. Things are changing right now, and the fact that you're open to receive that invitation from your friend is huge. I love that. B. Bradley, and he said, you're so inspiring. Thank you for holding the space for the divine feminines doing what you do. I got inspired when I watched your video this morning and I sent you that donation and you gave me that amazing card reading. My channel was like, get online and do live sessions. And I was like, whoa. So I stepped out of your live video to make the post. So, you know, the mirror of reflection is divine, brother. So great. I love you too, Lisa. Lori, okay, Roni says, I'm a 76-year-old woman. Anything for me, health problems, thanks. Well, first of all, there are no problems in health. It's energy, right? And 76 is infinite. The age is a number. And when we detach from the programming around the number that we're given as of the years of birth, we get to step outside of all of that. Like, that's a big thing for me that I've noticed is that I turned 40 this year, and I've generally felt my age, whatever that means. And I turned 40 this year and I feel 20. Like, I would say, like, gosh, I feel like 20 years younger now. And then now I don't even know what age I am. I feel infinite. I feel like I love my body, so my body feels lighter and younger. So it's like, when we can love up our body and use our mindful intention to love ourselves, literally on a molecular level, that amplifies the signal, the vibrational frequency that your cells are receiving. So DNA activations, cellular regeneration is through your thought processes. I love to study about neuroscience, and I've watched some TED Talks about some experiments that some doctors have done with clients. And what they did is they worked on some medical stuff, but they also did a thing where they put certain people in a study in two groups. And the study was about working out, going to the gym and lifting weights to be healthier, to gain more muscle mass. Half of the group went to the gym. They had specific workouts that they were supposed to do every single day, while the other group had the same workouts that they were supposed to do, but they never went to the gym. They sat with their thoughts performing these exercises for a certain amount of time during the day. Well, at the end of the test, when all of their results came back, the people that didn't go to the gym saw significant changes in their overall body health, their muscle mass, bone density, everything, simply by thinking about working out. So since and then we had the placebo effect where they do experiments with cancer patients and things like that, where they give the drug to one group and they give a sugar pill to the other group. And then the group that thinks they're getting the medication has huge enhancements in their bodies, simply because they thought they were getting that. So the body believed them, right? Like, that's how powerful we are with our own DNA. So what I do sometimes is like, I feel the pull to want to go to the gym and work out and tone up my body, but it's like, I don't have to do that. I can literally sit. And so I'll imagine myself doing squats as if I'm doing them. And then I can feel the energy moving in my legs. Like, that kind of stuff is for real. And so left chest, left lung. So taking your right fist, lightly tapping on your rib cage at the top, just below the clavicle, and sound tuning. So doing that. Like that's what's powerful too. Like, the lungs are so amazing, and we can literally just like tap or have someone like bang on the back, and it'll break up mucus and things like that that are in the lungs. And so does vibrating the voice. A little bit of tapping. That's the frequency sound that's coming out for you. So if you want to watch this back and mimic that tone and see what comes through you for you, Because it's not disease in the body, it's energy. That's the way to look at it all. Because then we're not creating a story. Because if you tell yourself you have medical problems, you're creating that story in your body. So we can look at life as energy and how to transmit energy in the body. It's really phenomenal. It changes the vibration of what the body is literally receiving on a vibratory level. So just because like a doctor may say that this is a diagnosis for you, like so many people will walk around saying, hey, look what the doctor told me. I have this now. I have this now. I have this. I have this. I have this. And then you become that. It's like that kind of level stuff. Not for everyone. This is a general thing, okay? The trifecta of healing is in place for you, Roni. Over the left side of the chest. Do you stretch? I heard backbone exercises, backbone stretches. Laying on the floor, moving the arms ahead, above the head and around, moving in circles to allow the vortex to be created, right? The polarity, moving the energy up and down of the body. We got to get the body moving in some way. That's what keeps us energetic and keeps us young and vibrant, right? If we sit down and we're just like in a chair all the time and we're not moving, we're not like amplifying I say that we need to move, but then it's all about the power of thought at the same time. Like I go back and forth, yet at the same time, there is something to staying moving, rest and move, being active and being like sedentary. There is a balance of that with the body. Heightened awareness. We have to move to groove. That's what I just heard. That's why dancing is so healing. I've read a lot of studies about dancing being the most powerful way to amplify the entire signal of the brain. Deb says, my right hip, holy. Yeah, the right hip. Vimo Star, may I also receive an activation? Yes, ma'am, you can. Heart-centered. I just heard you are so heart-centered. Tapping from the heart down to the solar plexus. We're just adding a little activation. Ooh, over to the right rib cage and around the back, the bottom. The right kidney. Tapping on the right kidney. The power of release. Solar plexus alignment. Ooh, whoa. I just felt amazing. Oh, I'm still feeling it. That was amazing energy release. Whoa. I'm just going to ground out for a second. That was amazing. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. I heard, stop doing all that work you're doing and slow down for a little bit. Redirect the frequency, because it's like, because I'm going backwards. I haven't done this before. So what I just heard, it's like we go, 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 go. And then it's like, we take a back seat or like let it slow down. So if that resonates with you, it happens naturally, but that's what's coming through for you right now in this moment. Whether it's the rest of the day. Ooh, I just saw a bird fly up. Whether it's the rest of the day or whatever. Hindsight 2020. Let yourself move and groove. Whatever groove that is for you. Releasing energy from the receiving hand. Clearing. Moneymaker. I heard moneymaker. Doing your studies of the perfume business is good for you. It's enhancement to the 7 cycle return. Devote yourself to the divine, which you already do, which is yourself. Audible. Skylar, your card's still sitting out of the deck. I just noticed that. I thought I put it back and I just got pulled to look and it's there. The tunnel, the light. Vimo. That's for you, doll. That's why I felt to pick it up when I was just channeling with you. Lessons learned. Deep in society, there's a breakdown of the etheric web of deceit. That's why we're leveling up. More money, more problems? No. That is some bad voodoo language. I have this coin. I don't know if you can see it, but it says, money, the root of all good. This is a 50-cent, 1 ounce piece of silver. And then this one is the year of the pig, which is what we're in, which is the material abundance. Oh, holy night. That's so funny. That's 2 Christmas songs that's come through while I've been channeling today. Blessings upon blessings upon blessings. I just heard to put the amethyst with it. Danny Williams gave me this amethyst. And I moved the pig into the front of the coin. Time capsule release. Time travel in 3, 2, 1. Blessings upon blessings upon blessings. Oh, hold the amethyst with my right hand, I heard. And the pig upside down in the left hand. Sending, receiving. Now imagine you walking in a park with a dog, and the dog looks up at you and says, how are you doing today? What are you going to say to the dog? Because the dog is God, and the God is dog. If that resonates with you. The mystic circuit is amplifying now. The web of deceit and desire compels you. Releasing and pulling. My left hand is so amplified right now. Now I'm channeling over my stones. I heard the amethyst is a powerful weapon against the dark arts. I mean, I'm not sure I believe in the dark arts, but there's a vibrational frequency that this is picking up on. I just saw 2 birds fly. The auric protection. The divine light of truth. Amethyst for etheric protection. For the body. Use the amethyst for the body to remove energy. Nice. So that's what that means in my mind. Not that there's like some plague of dark energy coming in. It's like there's a way the channel comes through to give messages and it doesn't always mean exactly what it is. So it's nice to have that clarified. Keep feeling the pull to put it in the camera. On my palm. I'm trying to get it to stand up. Okay, cool. That was for you, darling. That was amazing. That was for you and me. That's what's so great. When we share with others, we receive for ourselves. It's such a beautiful thing. That's the great thing of being in service. I love it. Lisa said, super interested in a healing session with you. I will PM you. Perfect. Love it. I look forward to that. Remy said, if possible, could you channel for me, please, dear one? Yes, I can, brother. I love your energy. I feel like we would have a good time together. Ooh. Figure 8 vortex for you. Put your hands together and clap 3 times. That's it. That was it. Starting the activation system with you. So that just like opened up the portal of ascension. Take your time to get to know yourself through this activation. Enhancement of the DNA is taking place now. Times 3, times 3, times 3. Chakra alignment, Kundalini amplification in 3, 2, 1. The overall distraction in your life is your own mind. Create a safe container to release and express. Anamati payai kainanamaya. Lay your head to rest tonight and think about what it is you want in this life. What will fuel your soul? Watch a change in reality take place. The mind-soul connection will take place now. The embodiment of Christ. As above, so below. The brotherhood of the divine. We're seeking you for a special assignment. Rest your head upon your pillow tonight and ask what that is, and the answer will come to you. Moving your hips side to side will wobble the spinal injury, which means moving the vortex of energy to rise up the spine. Not that there's like an actual injury. Yep, that's right. Yep. Okay, moving on. That's what I just heard. Ooh, 2 birds just flew by real fast as soon as I was about to say, removing energy from your receiving hand. Clarity and proximity. Start writing things down. What you want, what you don't want. Be clear. Tear out the page, tear it up, and bury it in the backyard. That's what I heard. That's a spell that's going to work for you. Cool. I had never told anyone to do that before. I say we. The collective channel of co-creativity. Tiffany said, what is this work called? I'm still working out the labels. Oh my gosh, I have so many names for what all of this is. DNA activation, cellular regeneration, galactic channel messages, like there's all kinds of terms, clairaudience, clairvoyance, psychic, medium, channel, intuitive, healer. I'm a facilitator of the divine. How about that? And that's what just came through. With the language of Mudra magic, which amplifies the signal of creation. I'm doing all kinds of new ones today too. Wow, it's so dope. These last few days have just been coming in, like so neat. Candace said, how may I be of service? Yes, that is like one of the greatest things ever. Bradley, yep, Mudra light language, that's right. Vocal light language, sound alchemy healing with the voice, the tuning. I do Rolfing body work too. It's all kinds of things. Yeah, Vimo says, I am okay. Perfect, sister. Lisa said, hey, Lori, do you know anything about cord cutting? And if I go to the wrong person, will the love spirit stay with you? If you go to the wrong person, will the love spirit stay with you? I'm not really sure exactly what you mean by that. Well, what immediately pulls on me is the wording of what you're asking. So cord cutting, that's a nice thing to visualize that a lot of people talk about with cutting cords or removing the energy connection to someone. So it's really about the emotional state of choice, to make the choice to realize that whatever the cut needs to be made in the cord really is the matter of how much attention we give it. And the wrong person, like, is there a wrong person, or is the person a reflection of what's going on within you? Like, that's what I see it as. It's like there's no wrong or right. It's a matter of like what reflections are showing up, that we get to choose how to engage, which is a reflection of our own self-sovereignty. So it's like paying attention to the energy fields in the body when connecting with new people, and taking time to get to know someone. Like, it takes time to get to know if someone is, like, I find that where I'm at now, I'm not dating anyone and I'm celibate. I'm not having sex with anyone. And I'm using this time to focus on myself so that I can be open to receive and be slow, or not even slow or fast, just to be mindful, allowing myself to get to know someone on a friend level, to see if there's even a foundation to go in an intimate space. I've jumped into every relationship I've ever been in really fast, and then really soon after most of them, I've been like, oh my gosh, like now I see that there's these differences that don't feel good to me. And then I wasn't communicating them, and if I was, a lot of times that they weren't received, so there wasn't this open communication. Like, I could have probably had amazing relationships longer than I did with most of the people that I've been with, but it's a matter of the consciousness and the moment. So everyone was right, no, or wrong or whatever. So it's like, or I meant to say, like, none of them are wrong or right. It's just like that was the reflection of me and my choices and what I was doing. So it's a matter of paying attention and knowing that we love ourselves, and anyone that steps into that arena is going to be an added bonus to the amplification of what we already are. That's the way I see it. My mindfulness, my self-love, my consciousness, my ability to compromise and to communicate allows that same energy to come to me. So if something else comes to me that doesn't feel like it's in that lane, then I need to pause and look at myself, instead of like continuing to move into a direction with someone or whatever. That might even not be it. That sounds like limitation. I don't like to limit myself. I like to stay free. So it's like, it's a matter of the energy and the moment. That's it. And being open to communicate. I feel like it's important to tell people, hey, like, I'm in a place of getting to know myself and getting to know other people. So let's build on a foundation of friendship and see what happens. And it may be that way, and it may be totally different. The storylines we like to program ourselves, or not like, the storylines that program ourselves dictate a lot of what happens in the moment. That is what dictates it. So if we're telling ourselves the story of expectation of how we see love should be, and how this person needs to be like this, and like, will they be good or bad for me? It's like, well, are you good or bad for them? It's like, whoa, this vibration. We have to cut out like all these labels and allow ourselves to receive who we are, right? So if we feel like we need to do work on ourselves, do that. And then when that person shows up, whatever's left, they're there to love, right? That's the way I like to see it, because there isn't anything else but that for me. I'm past the point I feel like I am of dysfunction in relationships. It's like, if we can't talk openly as friends, we sure as shit aren't going to do it as lovers, So that's why it takes time to get to learn someone's languages, their love language, how they speak about themselves, how they talk about other people, how they act in their daily routine of eating, drinking, driving, like all, like being able to see the reaction and the responses to people, to life, gives an indication of the psyche. So I'm not really sure about love spirit staying with you, but they're always with you, darling. Love is always in all of us. Yeah. Bradley, he posted his link to his YouTube music in the comments. Make sure you check him out. The Conscious Hip Hop Star. I love it. Remy said, if drawn, could you please channel for me? Like if you want to draw something, sure, I can channel over that. Stephanie Harris, she hopped on a little earlier. I don't know if she's still here or not, that does the DNA activations. She draws light language, and when I see her drawings, they activate me. She posted one today that was yellow and red, and I immediately started pulling and activating around the solar plexus. So amazing. Jules said, I am amazing. Thank you for the activation and reflecting my spirit. I cried. I honor our connection. Heart open, feeling clear, and connected to my true self. Love and blessings to you, sister. Aloha. Yay, I love that. I love you. The crying is that purge, right? It's that energy release of whatever it is. We don't even need to know. It's just like thankful that it comes up. So good. So yummy. I love the purges. I laugh a lot. Bimo says, I feel it in my body too. I always meditate on workouts and I send energy to my hands and melt fat, build muscle. Yes, the body loves it. Lower back issues for the past 4 years, where it's like, how's the feet? It starts from the ground up. How's your feet? Work on your feet. Love up those feet. One of the things I do is I have one of those like wooden baking rolling pins, not the real big one, but I got a smaller one, and you can use a big one too. And I put it under my feet and I hold onto the bed and or whatever surface, and I roll back and forth on my feet. And within, like, I started noticing a difference in my body immediately. 2 weeks into it, I was like totally different. Reflexology, there's a pressure point for every organ in the bottom of the feet. It starts from the bottom up. So love up those feet, sit on the floor and stretch and work those shoulders to open up, to release the sacrum. Karen said, how you move your hands, so delicate, right? I know, it's like so beautiful. I watch myself when I do videos because I'm just like in awe. It's so amazing. Ooh, Vimo said, I'm a year of the pig, 1995. Boom. Well, that's why that came up for you. I had a feeling I was going to pull that for some reason when I put it out. Rare Finds and More says, I have left lung congestion, asthma. Your tapping compression is really channeling. Thank you. You're welcome. And continue that practice for yourself if you feel the pull. Like, empower you. Empower yourself to work on your own body. Even if you don't know how to, even if you have no idea what to do, allowing that, putting that intention out there. How can I help? It will come in. What I find is if I just sit on the floor, my body, like if I start to feel uncomfortable, I'll start moving around, and I let my hands just move and do the work for me. And you can do that. Tell your hands, show me the way. Show me the way. And it may not happen at first. Just keep at it if you feel the pull. Like, we're so powerful. Ooh, Remy said, I am a pig and my birthstone is amethyst. Woo! Ooh, I love that. Yes, that was totally for you too. That's awesome. Bimo says, Lori, while you were doing my activation, I was following your hands and sounds. When you felt the release, so did I. I just felt such a surge, and when you picked up Year of the Pig. I'm also Year of the Pig. I felt the money and opportunity rain on me. Thank you for channeling for me. You're welcome, sister. I love you. I appreciate all that you do. Ooh. Roni, that I just did the work for, that pulled up about the left lung. She said, Lori, you're amazing. Lung module, left lung growing. I used to be a dancer. Thanks for clearing things up. So much love. You're awesome, sister. It's so great to have the clarity, you know, to have the help to like see the self in a different way so that we can re-engage with ourselves. It's just so amazing. Karen said, first time here, you're mesmerizing. I'm not sure everything that you do, but I would appreciate anything if you feel a connection. Awesome, Karen. Thank you for showing up and connecting, because that's the greatest thing. When we show up for ourselves, when we get the opportunity, that's when magic happens, right? The opportunities come about, and then we move past fear and say, hey, me too. I'm learning to do that too. It's like asking for help. How can I help? Okay, Karen. I heard first-time buyer. She's a first-time buyer. This is your first time here, right? Because we spend energy, we share, we give energy. That's what I just thought of. The resurrection of the soul is taking place within you. The time clock is winding backwards. We have to remove some old junk files. Ooh, 3 birds in a trifecta. I heard removing the need to be in control, honoring your spirit, the light goddess that you are, the goddess of light. Creating restraints in the etheric web will deny you of your glory. So we're working on the giving hand here, the right hand. There's some pressure on the left side of the palm. Snap 3 times. Hand-eye coordination is enhancing now. This is a meridian line too. The capillaries are enhancing now, which are the blood vessels. Mudras. I feel a lot of movement in the heart chakra. Release. Nice. Holding space while the energy clears. I still feel it moving. Ooh, throat chakra's activating now. Almost made me cough. By the power invested in me, times 3, times 3, times 3, so mote it be. Rewiring the hardwire. Kundalini up the spine. I just heard the frequency shift in my left ear. An attunement is taking place, is in process. Winding up the heart chakra, which is the portal to the multidimensional space. A tiny pocket of neurons is in the heart. $40,000 pieces of unidentified information is coming in now. 40,000 neurons in the heart chakra, in the heart. Releasing the need to be in control. two birds, creating time and space for love. And I felt something pinch right here. Yeah, feeling it right there. Just moving the tissue a little. Got 13% left on my battery. At 3:35. Ooh, Joseph Hemphill sent in a donation. Thank you, Joseph. 33, the power of 3 and 3. Moving energy here in that spot. Whoa. Okay. Lynn Marie, me please, love. Could use your divine light. You're crossing a path. Swimming upstream without a paddle, but that's okay because that's what salmon do. The fish. Creating a more easeful movement. Creating a container of abundance. You can either live inside of your soul or live in the constraints of poverty. Pulling from the receiving hand. This is such an abundance day. I got the message whenever whenever I saw the vision to get online today, I just heard Abundant Sunday, Abundant Sunday, Abundant Sunday. So, chess play. This is a chess play. Ooh. Sovereignty is the ideology. Left brain, right brain stimulation. Going down the line of the chat too, guys, so I may not get to everybody today, so I feel the pull. I'll continue to keep doing these, so Lisa, are you the same Lisa we've done a few things already? I'm not sure, I'll just keep going. Hey Selena, she said newbie here, welcome sister. Ooh, I heard the light at the end of the tunnel card for you too. I at the beginning of the video, I talked about that card that I just, this one that just came up for you again. So if you want to go back and watch from the beginning and hear about that. I love you too, Annie. Selena said, can't cut your own cords. What does that mean? When the word can't gets used, that's like a limitation. We have the power to do anything that we wish, and we can swap out the exchange of energy and the vibration in which we feel it anytime we want. So if we want to call that cutting cords, then that's the independent sovereign choice of each person. If you feel like you need to cut cords, then that's what you can do for yourself, because it's a matter of mind choice in the emotional revolving door to continue to engage in that vibration or not. So we can purge that energy at any time. It's surrenderance of sovereignty. I love you too, Rami. Thank you for all that you do. So Rare Finds and More says, any suggestions for DNA channeling to heal, self-heal sick lungs? Self-regulate oxygen for the removal of mucus. Thank you. Do you consume dairy? Because that just came up right now. And the other day, someone asked the question, and the answer that came up for them was to cut out dairy to reduce the amount of mucus that gets built up in the body. So that's what just came up. I'm not sure if you consume dairy or not. Use the hands to channel the power of self-regulation. So I'm seeing to move it this way. To allow the regeneration to take place. Brushing the energy out, pulling. It's like pulling cords, or like I see it as like a tube. This energy. Balancing the left, right wing, shoulders. How are your shoulders? How's your posture? Do you sit up to let your lungs fully expand, or is your posture like this? Do you sit in a chair like this a lot? Sit on the floor, open up so the lungs and the heart and the diaphragm can properly pump and send and release, right? We have to be mindful of the structure of the body also. Sound tuning will help. 432 hertz for you. YouTube has lots of tones. 432 hertz. DNA amplification to the root chakra. The root is mighty, only needs a little bit. Step inside of your soul to see what you're holding on to emotionally. Look online to see what emotions are resonant to the lungs and release. Because where there's a physical vibration, there's an emotional vibration. Do you smoke? Are you smoking? No. Smoking in a past life. Releasing the ancestral curse. The need to be seen compels you. Root chakra amplification and process. By the divine light of truth. Karen said, I'm doing things as you're saying it. I've never done that before. Wow, you're amazing. It's amazing, right? Like how we can amplify each other and activate each other like that. Like that's when I got activated and I started going through this process of integrating all this cosmic stuff. I immediately was told that I was an activator. And that's what we do. We activate each other on a daily basis anyway. It's called, I call it influence. We influence each other. So it's like, this energy work is so amazing that we can like literally activate each other in these amazing ways. It's sharing love. It's so beautiful. I hear messages that me being more open public about this, that people are not going to understand. They're going to think that like I'm some witch or voodoo or whatever it is. And I was like, that's all okay, because I understand that not everyone understands. I mean, I didn't understand or know or anything like that until it started coming through me. So it's like, I call it magic because that's what it feels like, but really it's energy exchange. And so if, people want to call it witchcraft or voodoo or whatever that is, it's a spectrum of energy exchange. I'm an energy facilitator, just like you, just like everybody else. It's just a matter of like activating in this channel in some way, and we can help each other to do that. We can amplify each other's signal, the DNA. Stephen said, how do I learn more? How do you learn more about what exactly? Linda said, anything for me, thank you if you have time. The need to be controlled. Gaining more personal sovereignty of your own individual light. Start looking outside of your... Stop, hang on. Let me redirect. I feel like my channel's starting to like energetically get a little tired, so it's like I can feel my energy like decreasing some, or I'm like coming back in, so just take a minute to chill for a second. Ooh, drink some water. Good moment to pause and get some water with all of this energy work. Holy moly, this is amazing. And the molecular work, the body, because energy work is the body work, right? I mean, you guys do know that. It isn't just like something that happens to the auric field. It's literally shifting the body. I heard Linda Thorpe, the time capsule is complete. It's time to step outside of your body and ask yourself what you want. I'm not getting much. At least not at this time. The chakras are complete, I heard. Removing the poverty-stricken. I've been hearing that a lot today. It's like removing the mentality of poverty. Rare Fine says, no, full vegan raw. Do you eat any cooked food? The body digests food differently when it's cooked. And a lot of the Asian culture, they believe in cooking all of the food, which is like, an interesting thing. I've gone back and forth. I've done raw for a while too, and it seems like I have less abdomen distortion, or not distortion, but bloating and things like that. I can become really bloated when it comes to eating raw all the time. So possibly sauteing some greens and mushrooms. Stephen said, what about healing an infection in the gums? I've been trying to heal a gum infection for a while, and it has spread up to my sinuses, but I have been doing a lot of energy healing on it, just can't seem to get it all. So I have a tooth right here that was starting to feel a little loose, and it was starting to feel painful. And so what I did, or I felt the pull to do, is I used my index finger, which is the element of air, and I placed it right on there, and I just imagined the energy coming from my finger into the tooth, into the gum, to create a stronger energetic connection to the nerve ending in the tooth, and it stopped hurting, and I stopped feeling it, and things like that. So oral hygiene is important. What you speak affects the mouth. How are you speaking to yourself, and how are you speaking to other people? The gum line dexterity is important. Okay, so I'm working it with you right now. So I am blowing on the finger, which is blowing air into air, which is the element of air. Oh, I just saw a bunch of birds fly by. That's amazing. And I'm moving in circles to the left. Hardwiring new dentistry. I just felt some energy release. Apple cider vinegar. Swish apple cider vinegar and spit it out. Right eye stimulation. Pulling and releasing energy. Bygones be bygones, be bygones. Pulling. The cerebral cortex. We're amplifying the cerebral cortex. Brain chemistry. We're pulling ether from the hair. Recharging through the hair. The hair is an etheric portal, by the way. Okay, so Stephen, that was right eye, which is left brain, which was cerebral cortex enhancement. We did tooth work in the front. I was going here, and then I started going around the bottom of the lower jaw gum line, and now back here in the jawline. Removing infection. Ooh, down to the lymph nodes. Okay, so this area right here, there's like, you can feel the tonsil or the little puffy. Tap on that. The tonsils help to detox the body. When I first started working on myself, the channel, started working on my body, mine felt hard. And I felt like for a couple of years, I was like, my tonsils feel hard like rocks. And I wasn't sure. And then I started tapping and sound tuning, and now they're like nice and smushy. So matching my vocal vibration, tapping on the right side with the right finger. I just saw 5 birds fly by. 4 together, and then 1 in the back. Now we're pulling energy there from the right side. The lymph nodes. Got to work on the lymph nodes. So shake. Like, you guys, this is really important to do a lymph node detox. You can put your hands in Spock formation and then like this around your ear and just lay your hands lightly and shake. Just lightly. That moves the lymph down. And you can sound tune too. It just came up. Oh, deeper tones, deeper healing. And then shake the neck. I shake it all the way down here. Shake all the lymph. Work on that. And if you guys, I know a lot of you guys know a lot about herbal and natural remedies for these things. So if any of you know any gum infection or things like that for the oral mouth, what came up was apple cider vinegar. So if any of you have anything else that you feel resonant to share with Stephen, but we just cleared a lot of energy right now. So I'm excited to see how you're going to feel in the next few days. You can do it. That's what I just heard. Times 2, times 2, times 2. Yes. Yes. Karen said, Lori, thank you very much. Thank you so very much. When you said control, you blew me away because I always used to feel like need to be in control of everything. But I'm learning I have no control over nothing but my own actions. Love and light to you and happy holidays, my new spiritual sister. Yes, that is the beautiful thing, is the power of choice, which creates self-sovereignty, which is empowerment. And it's not just about like, oh, let's empower ourselves. No, it's like when you do that, you're literally raising the vibration of your body, of your cells, which creates health, vitality. Literally, it's all connected. And the need to be in control comes from feeling out of control in some way, right? So like if you feel the need, or any of you, including myself, because I used to be in like super control, feeling like everything has to be in its place, or I'm just spinning out of control. Like, how crazy is that? Like, we have to get away from that, because it's like, that's like not being sovereign and being empowered in our own energy. And it's okay. We didn't know. Now we can self-realize and realize like, whoa, how we choose to feel in our body because of our thought processes creates emotion. Emotion is the energetic field of the body attached to thought, which we say, oh, I'm sad or I'm happy. Well, those are emotions that are being felt, but it's all derived from the body and connected to the mind and vice versa. Glad you're here, sister. Rare Finds, who was talking about the asthma, she said that there is a family curse of lung disease in my family. 430 megahertz is spot on 432, maybe, or 430. Thank you. I was channeling up, moving it down, moving in downward motions. I love you. Thank you. I felt the energy and love. Awesome. And the beautiful thing is that, like, we get trapped in this like, oh, it runs in my family line, it's hereditary. It's like, oh no, it's not. Like thyroidism, my grandmother has it, my mom has it, and I used to say, oh, thyroidism runs in my family, and now I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm at the age now 40 when my mom started having symptoms and things like that, and I already know it's not in my spectrum. I've known it. Like, that's not going to penetrate into me. I'm not agreeing to that story, because 1% of cancer runs in the family. 1%. That's what Bruce Lipton says, the cellular biologist, who's amazing to study. Kyle. I love you, Kyle. Kyle Hollingshed said, haha, you're doing great. This is so awesome to watch. I'm loving it, man. This is so great. I haven't done this before, so it's fun. I appreciate all that you all do. Yeah, an ancient technique. Oh, yeah. Oil pulling with coconut oil. That's a huge one. For teeth. Oil pulling gets in between the teeth and it's thicker. It's a more dense, you know, fluid versus water. You can pull with water too, but oil pulling, which is putting like a teaspoon of oil, coconut oil in your mouth and swishing it around like for 20 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever, and then you want to spit it out. That helps to remove a lot of stuff. And I went through a phase when I was doing it and I haven't been doing it. So thank you for the reminder. Like I have friends that do oil pulling that eat plant-based and they don't brush their teeth. They just use oil pulling because when you eat plant-based, when you eat a lot of raw or cooked vegetables and things like that, it's like it doesn't leave film. And from my experience, when I'm eating fresh produce, my teeth are whiter and cleaner. When I eat processed things, I notice a film like on my teeth that I can actually like scratch off. Well, that's what it's doing to the body. The teeth are the indication. So it's like kind of, at least that's the message that I get through my own awareness. Carrie Davis, I see you watching, sister. I don't know if you're still on, but you already know I love you. Super majestic. Rare Finds and More says tea tree oil for the gums. And then someone else says, ooh, yeah, colloidal silver. Woo. Yay. Stephen said, wow, that helped a lot. I feel better already. Yeah, brother. Oh, thank you. I love the tattoo on your heart. It's Metatron's cube with the seed of life. It's like half finished, so I'm going to be getting it completed. I'm stoked about that. I'm so ready. Jerry at Vagabond Tattoo here on Maui in Kihei is incredible. My friend Bam Bam gets work from him, and I've seen a couple other people, and his lines are amazing. He has light hands, so I'm going to have him work on my chest, so I'm really stoked. Mike says switching with ground clove tea is great for suppressing dental comfort. Clove came up for me too, actually, while I was just doing that, so I'm glad that you brought it up. Janine said, this is my third video watching you in 24 hours. Lots of upgrades. Slept like a baby last night. I know, like I'm on a roll right now. I go through periods where I don't feel the pull to do videos. I only do them if I feel it. And I am just like on it right now. I love it. That's how I know we're like activating and leveling up in such huge ways. We just went through the 12-21 vortex and like cruising into 2020. It's like really epic. Annie, Lori, I invited some people. Awesome, invite some people. Gina said, Lori, can you hold me the light? There's a lot of darkness around my home. Yes, girl, I hold you in the light and in the darkness because it's the same. It's simply a different degree of vibration on the spectrum of energy. It's all the same. So embracing that darkness and allowing it, or whatever we want to call it, to empower us. Ask, how can we help? I hold you in the light, sister. I'm feeling a pull to pull a stone for you. I'm just going to close my eyes and see what happens over it. The Moldavite. The Moldavite. Moldavite is a very powerful stone. They say that it's extraterrestrial because it is not of Earth. And this is a super strong magic tool. And I love it. I'll put it on my third eye and my third eye will start swirling. It's really magnetic. Carlos, when you and I did our session together, we both had Moldavite. Do you remember that? It was so powerful. So the power of Moldavite. Karen said, I need to see you again. Well, if you want to do private sessions with me, you can message me or email me. I put my email address on the post, abundanceislife33@gmail.com. And also, I have a YouTube channel, Lori Ivy. I post a lot of my videos, but I've been making so many lately. And I'm behind, or I'm not behind, I have like 5 or 6 videos in my Facebook feed that I haven't put on YouTube yet. So if you just go scroll down through my feed, you'll be able to see a lot of videos. And Lori Ivy is my YouTube channel, LORIIVEY. And I have a lot of activations, and I've changed so much since I started that thing. When I go back and watch even videos from a month ago, I'm just like, I speak differently, I talk differently. It's just amazing to see. Well, guys, thank you for the donations today that came in for the exchange. I'm super, super grateful. You're assisting me to stay on this path of healing so I can do this more and more and focus on this. I love it so much, and I appreciate the connection. I appreciate all the sharing that you do and the love that you give and that you receive, right? It's like we can give love all day long, but it's like, what about how open are we to receive love back? That's been a huge thing for me, how open I am to receiving love. And love is everywhere. Since I've become more open to receiving love from what's around me, I see it everywhere. I see it in nature. I see it in people. So it's like my own reflection, right? The love I give myself, I see everywhere else. And it's just so beautiful. And it's important to do that in a place where, on earth, it can feel exhausting sometimes. And that's okay. It's like part of the existence. So it's like embracing all of that is so great. I love you, Lori McBride. I appreciate you. Thanks, everybody. I love you to the moon.